electrifying sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Emiliano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano.
What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show, No Filter. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and with me, as usual, back in action is the man, the myth, the legend, Jive Turkey Nano.
Let's go, baby. Great to see MMAnomaly. How we doing, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, everything in between? It is great to be back. We are proudful to be back here, baby. Both happen to be matching. Come on, that's how you know it's going to be a good
And we
day.
didn't plan that, by the way. We literally jumped in the studio a couple minutes ago, and I was like, dude, check it out. I'm repping the new Pride shirt. And he's like, hey, me too.
If we can't make it, granted, we are, a couple kids in a candy shop, rocking the new gear, as always. But yeah, brother, great to see you. It's a great start to the week, man. I'm sore, which means I'm back in the gym, back in action, off that vacation, off the post-wedding vibes. And now we're just back to status quo, baby. Back to the grind. I'm excited to be here, baby. Ready to dive on in.
Love it, man. So happy to have you back. Granted, our surprise co-host while you were gone, Mary, did a fantastic job. Give her a great round of applause, folks. But as we say, it's tough to beat the original. And Nano, you are the man, the myth, the legend, and without a doubt, the original turkey. So we are happy to have you back, my friend. And with that being said, we are here to break down what we witnessed on Saturday. This epic fight card. This just relentless onslaught of finishes at UFC Vegas 95. I'm kidding, of course. It was a pretty watered down card, folks. But nonetheless, we're here. We're doing what we do. We're here to break it down. We're going to go over all the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between. And if it makes sense, we'll even sprinkle a little bit of what we think should be next for these folks onto the fight. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start off at the bottom of the preliminary card. We had Stephanie Luciano coming in against Talita Alencar. I'll go ahead and take the lead here. It was a bit of a windy decision, right? Stephanie Luciano got 87 out of 190 strikes landed, while her opponent landed 45 of 159. More of the same when you look into significant strikes, 72 compared to 41. And again, when you look at takedowns, I mean, there was a lot of volume on one side, but not a lot done with it. 10 takedown attempts from Talita Alencar. Only one landed, probably why her opponent, who didn't even shoot one single takedown attempt, ended up getting the unanimous decision win here. I mean, I wouldn't say that it was one-way traffic, but I would say that it was, fairly convincing win for Stephanie Luciano. Mary in the chat saying, welcome back, Emiliano.
Let's go. Great to be back, man. Appreciate you. Great fill-in co-host there, or guest celebrity host. I think you're more than welcome anytime. We'd be more than welcome to have you. Let's go.
Love to hear it. Love to see it. Nano, what were your thoughts on this fight, if any?
Yeah, man. No, I'll keep it short and sweet here. Stephanie Luciano really was able to display her range. Her striking was really the thing that carried her throughout the fight here. Like you mentioned, she almost doubled her opponent in strikes. Her opponent being Talita Alencar, more of a ground specialist. We saw her try to gravitate and get it to the ground, but she simply was not able to, right? She did attempt Lord knows she was trying. She attempted 10 takedowns, but only was able to land one. And she was also knocked down here in the third and final round of the fight, which is really the exclamation point for me as I was watching it. Again, keeping it short and sweet here. Stephanie had a fantastic outing. Definitely a strawweight to be reckoned with when it comes to someone who has her skill set and that range, that size, her length, everything about her. And then that kind of defense as well. Really liked what I was seeing from our girl, Stephanie Luciano. And you almost got to say with this with a little bit of Luciano. Coming from someone that's named Emiliano, you just want to naturally do that. I don't have an opponent, anyone that's next for either one of these gals. Would love to see them get back in, hopefully healthy and as soon as possible. But the strawweight division certainly has another potential dog in the making here in Luciano. Hey, let's go, Tien. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it. Miss you too, man. And hey, man, just trying to keep up with you, big dog. You know, trying to keep it smooth, keep it easy breezy. But it's great to have you around, brother. Let us know your thoughts on the card or anything that's exciting you about these upcoming fights. And hey, man, or if you got fantasy talk, we can maybe leave a little bit of time at the end there. You know, we're always down for that. Come on, what you thinking? Let's go.
Love it. Love to hear it. T-Piz, my guy, love to see you in the chat. Let's go! And if there's ever a super stud, I mean, it's got to be you. Did you walk past the mirror? Is that why you typed that? I mean, my guy. Look, can't wait to have you back out in the area, and can't wait to only remember half of the time that you're out in the area, because that's typically what happens when we get together. If you know what I'm saying. So, moving into the next fight, as you said, Nano, I don't have anybody on the tip of my tongue for this one, but I will tell you one fight that I am very excited to talk about is this next one. That's right, folks. We had Youssef Zalal, who we had the pleasure of meeting just less than 60 days ago in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was fantastic. He, by far, had just some of the greatest energy I've ever seen. He was lighthearted, fun. He was throwing up bunny ears. I mean, he was just having a good time up there with the fans, and it showed. Because of that, I was very bullish on him getting the win. I thought he had what it takes to get the win over a Jarno Aarons, and boy, did he. He went out there and he looked pretty damn masterful. I mean, granted, the strikes are pretty close if you look at the totality here. You had 10-7, but let's talk about the percentage clips that they landed here for a second, Nano. 83% clip for Youssef Zalal compared to 25.9% clip for Jarno Aarons. So one man was landing 4 out of 5 strikes. The other man was landing 1 out of 4. You kidding me? I mean, it was a sniper versus somebody who had just a buckshot shotgun and was hoping that some of that buckshot landed and did some damage. Meanwhile, Mr. Sniper sitting up on the fucking roost, picking those shots. The sniper's Youssef Zalal. Spoiler alert, folks. He shot for one of 2 takedowns. Ended up landing that he shot, and then from there, I mean, the guy ended up just slicing through the guard like butter. The Moroccan Devil looked surgical out there. Got his hands wrapped around his opponent and got that rear naked choke sunk in less than 4 minutes. It took just 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Nano, what shocked you about our guy Youssef Zalal, if anything?
Yeah, man, I think not a lot that necessarily shocked me. I think we went out there, and to your point, right, I think we got to preface this. We are a little biased, okay? We were going into this last Saturday, although we weren't able to discuss it together, okay? I was in our thoughts and prayers, both rooting for him. I think we both knew that. We're biased, right? Because we did get a chance to meet our boy Youssef Zalal. We got to see him in person, and like our boy Tien was mentioning, TP, that aura that he may be able to feel, we felt that same thing in person there, seeing him interact with everybody. Really has an energy and a riz to him, as the kids are saying these days. And it really just felt really down to earth. I felt like it was one of the most genuine exchanges I had with some of the fighters up there. Even just seeing him interact with other fighters on stage, like you said, being silly, throwing up the bunny ears. Just a really cool guy all around. Someone you want to root for. And at 27 years young, really excited to see him go out and really dominate in all facets of the game. Granted, the strikes don't indicate that it was this slugfest, right? But he did win Performance of the Night, got himself an extra $50K because he was able to go out and be so dominant and show a rounded skill set, right? He was able to do a variety of things. He was moving really well on his feet, in and out of range, frustrating his opponent, Jarno Aarons, and then was able to land purposefully. Everything he landed was significant, literally, if you look at the books. So that tells me it was, like you said, he was being a sniper out there, choosing his target, and the exchange there when he was able to get to his back, get to his opponent's back, get the body triangle in, fight the hands, slip in the choke, game over. I mean, it was textbook. Wish I could break it down better than that, but that was essentially the step-by-step process. And to be able to do that so definitively in the UFC against another professional who I felt like Jarno was going to have maybe the grappling advantage. I haven't really seen our boy Yusuf do that kind of thing to that kind of opponent. So maybe that was the most shocking thing, was just, wow, he looked gosh darn good. One of the best performances of the night. That might have shocked me. I don't think I would have had that on my bingo card, although certainly was rooting for it. Happy to see it. Let's go, Yusuf. You the man, baby. Come on. Keep it rolling, brother. Let's go. I don't know who's next for him. I wish I had an opponent on the top of mind.
Did you disconnect your mic?
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I was like, what the heck? Sorry about that, y'all. Anyways, I was going to say, I wish I had an opponent top of mind, but that featherweight division is absolutely stacked. Would love to see him. If he's not right there knocking on the door for a top 15 guy, I think he's ready for one as soon as possible. I don't know if you have any names, but I'll quickly look at the top 25 and find a name, because anybody sounds good, to be honest. What are you thinking, brother?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of names that could work out for Youssef Zalal, right? But the featherweight division, when you look at it as a whole, is pretty stacked. The big question is, do you think he's ready for someone in the top 15? Or do you think he deserves someone right outside of that top 15? For me, I feel like he does deserve a ranked opponent. I feel like it's just tough, man. Even just number 11 to number 15 is very tough in the featherweight division. I mean, we're talking about absolute killers here. We're talking about a Dan Ige. We're talking about a Diego freaking
Where are you?
Lopez. We're talking about Bryce Flat Earth Mitchell. We're talking about Lucky Lerone Murphy, the Miracle. And at the very tip of the iceberg, at number 15, Edson Barboza? You got to be kidding me. So, I mean, it's tough. With that being said, when you look at those names, do you think that he's ready for any of those top 15 guys?
I think to your point, because he's still a bit green behind the gills, right? He's still a little bit of a younger contender. Might need to see him go out and beat one more person. But I do think he's one step away. I think he's knocking on heaven's doors right now, brother. He has to be, right? How do you deny the kid, right? He's making himself the obvious choice. He's standing out. He's getting performance of the nights. He's getting the finishes, first round finishes. But maybe you do put him up against someone else that has a similar trajectory, right? Usually don't love that Icarus effect, but hey, this is a top 15 eliminator or contender builder. There is a laundry list of people. Again, I mean, I could pull up anyone in that top 20. I mean, Nate the Train is sitting out there. Does he deserve that crack? A Nate, the prospect, would. Is he someone that deserves that kind of nod as well? There's a lot of names, brother. And who's number 15 right now? Is it Edson Barboza or one of those guys?
Edson Barboza.
That's where it's like, would I pay to see it? Absolutely. Do I think maybe we need to see Yusuf do a little bit more just because of the name, pedigree, and everything? Yeah, probably. Maybe one more fight. And if he could do it definitively, he's right there, baby. And I'm rooting for him, so I think, give him Blackshear again from that draw. Okay, Tien, I see you, brother. That is a good
Yeah, we're not mad at that, T-Piz. We're not mad at that at all. I will tell you, I have two other names on the tip of my tongue here, though. Right outside of the top 15, I was thinking possibly a Super Sadiq Yusuf or a Sean the Sniper Woodson.
There you go. That'd be a fun striking match right there. The sniper against sniper.
That's what I'm saying. Like sniper versus sniper. Give me that all day. Sign me up. Sign me up for that one. Yeah, I think that's a fun matchup. And I mean, it's a it's a matchup that is a little bit more favorable for Youssef Zalal than maybe some of those top 15 ranked guys right now. But I do think he's like one away from being a top 15 contender or top 15 fighter. Moving into the next fight, we had a bit of a heavyweight fight. We had Jonata Diniz coming in against Carl Williams. Nano, how did this fight make you feel?
Made me feel pretty decent. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and blow smoke. Okay, it was not the most exciting fight of the world. Certainly from a stylistic perspective, and obviously again seeing two heavyweights when it's not a first round finish in the heavyweight division, you're kind of thinking, what happened? Are we seeing a lot of grappling? What's going on? Did see a good puzzle match, good chess match on the feet there, but ultimately what you saw was Jonata Diniz just showcased the better, well-rounded skill set on the feet, was able to push Carl Williams around a little bit. There were some wow moments, there was some shocks here and there, but in terms of just the overall, 15 minutes through and through, it just felt like Jonata was in the driver's seat. He was winning the exchanges. And when you look at some of the statistics here, round by round, being able to stuff the takedowns, being able to outland his opponent, outside of that third round, Carl Williams was looking to come on a little stronger. Again, he might have felt he was down 2-0. He might have needed that finish, which can certainly indicate why the numbers look that way. But all to say, Jonata Diniz, man, he looked like a very strong heavyweight. Obviously, again, these guys move a little bit slower than the average guy. They're not throwing double spinning back kicks and it wasn't a Bruce Lee movie out there, okay? It was certainly a lot of ones and twos, very meats and potatoes. But, hey, it was a great fight. Both dudes are tough as nails. Both dudes deserve to be in the UFC. But Diniz, I think, showcased a little bit more. Is he ready for a top 15 guy? I mean, hey, honestly, the heavyweight division's so thin. I think maybe if he was a little more dominant or got a finish, I could make a better case for him. But for now, I think stay healthy. Get back in there as soon as possible, and maybe you can make a name for yourself as you string along 1, 2, 3, 4 victories in a row, being a Jonata Diniz there. But no one on the top of mind. Curious to hear your thoughts. Anything else you want to break down, or if it was pretty meats and potatoes on your end, and if there's anyone else that you think maybe is on the horizon for these two heavyweights. What's your thoughts, brother?
I'll be honest, I don't have a ton to add to this one. Great breakdown on your end. Jonata Diniz does everything he needs to do, or rather exactly just enough of what he needs to do in order to keep that 0 on his undefeated line there. He moves to 8-0. Carl Williams moves down to 10-2. Just a very inactive match. I mean, it looked like two pretty labored heavyweights fighting in the apex. As much as I don't like to talk trash, this was just a pretty uneventful fight, start to finish. Between both men, barely over 100 strikes were actually connected. Barely over 200 strikes were thrown. Yeah, pretty meat and potatoes, and even the meat and potatoes weren't really seasoned that well. So as much as I hate to admit it, just kind of a dud of a heavyweight fight. Not going to play matchmaker for Jonata Diniz. He didn't really show me a ton. I think if he fights anybody in the top 15, he will probably have his work cut out for him. Hopefully he packed some meat and potatoes, because it's going to be a long night at the office. Moving into the next one, it's the main event of the preliminary card. We are just blazing through this one. We had Karol Rosa coming in against Pannie Kianzad. I'll go ahead and take the lead on this one. This one went just about exactly as I thought it was going to go. I mean, I thought Karol Rosa was going to be just a step ahead of her opponent from start to finish. I mean, if you look at previous strength of schedule, she went out there and fought Irene Aldana and took 145 significant shots from Irene Aldana. I didn't think there was going to be much that Pannie Kianzad would be able to do to put her away. And with that being said, I thought that Rosa would do just enough to kind of edge out a victory over Pannie Kianzad, because Pannie Kianzad's hard to put away too, right? So what do you know? It was 140 total strikes to 138, 117 significant strikes to 92, 1 takedown to 0. Again, pretty edgy stuff as far as edging out a fight for Karol Rosa. Nothing really shocked me or surprised me in this fight. Again, I feel like it was almost like a scripted fight, right? Like everything just went according to the script. Played out exactly on TV as it looked on paper. Nano, did anything surprise you at all about this matchup, or about rather the way it played out?
Appreciate the breakdown, brother. In terms of surprising, no, not necessarily, but it did keep my interest. I think it was a really fun fight, really well-rounded. You saw two girls going out there, showcasing a good variety of strikes. And throughout all 3 rounds, I mean, I felt like it was really back and forth. It was hard for me to judge. I think I kind of just put my my fan cap on and just imagine myself being there and yelling and trying to stay involved as you tend to do. But both women went out there and fought on their shield, right? Both landing over 130 strikes each. I mean, that's over 15 minutes. That's as much violence as you can ask for. And I felt like the big difference was Pandy Khanzad's ability. Even though she lost, I thought the leg kicks were the difference maker for me. I think I like to tend to gravitate those as maybe weighting a little bit more in terms of the points, I suppose. But what do I know? I'm not a judge. Again, I wasn't necessarily watching it with that critical lens. I just felt like it was a really fun back and forth. Wouldn't have been mad with how the judges looked at it either way. But obviously, Karol Rosa is the winner here and gets to continue on in the bantamweight division. And sky's the limit, right? I don't necessarily have any names top of mind here. She's 18-6. She's got a good background here. Her being Karol Rosa, like you said, avenging that loss against Aldana. Maybe need to see a little bit more, right? Where is she at? Is she continuing to get better? Or is that Irene Aldana kind of the limit there where, again, I mean, that's as good as it gets. Irene is cream of the crop. You saw her there. I mean, she knows how to relax and have a good time as well and has good food choices. But aside from that, she's a really good fighter also. So maybe Karol Rosa could try to get that back. That's maybe the goal if you're Karol. Otherwise, yeah, man, no other names top of mind for me. But it's a fun fight for sure.
Definitely a fun fight. Shout out T-Piz in the chat. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Rosa. She's bouncing back off a loss to Aldana. And I mean, before that, it wasn't really easy pickings for her. She fought Norma Dumont, who, as TN put, dump trucks. Look, if I'm Karol Rosa, I'm probably trying to get back in one of those 2 fights. I'm probably trying to get a rematch with Irene Aldana, or I'm trying to get a rematch with Norma Dumont. Either way, sign me up to watch those rematches. I think those would be bangers. The first fights were bangers. So why wouldn't the rematch be bangers? Moving into the next fight, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and pour up the shot now. Since Mary was subbing in for you, you're going to do the shot on her behalf. We didn't even talk about many of these fights. I think we talked about like 3 of them, and we still didn't do good.
Uh-oh.
It was not great.
One of those.
One of those. One of those.
Brother.
You know what happens is you're a fan of Ray Longo. You hear him talking about a Charalampos Gregorio. Yeah, he's a Greek warrior. He's a really, really strong guy over at the gym. And, you want to get behind the Greek warrior, Charalampos Gregorio. And, I mean, you look at his previous fights, and he didn't win against the Chad Anheliger, but he still got 4 out of 5 takedowns, which is why I didn't bet. I didn't bet on him to get the win. I did bet on him to get over 1.5 takedowns because I thought that was easy money. He landed 0 takedowns. It was not easy money. He lost the fight pretty badly in the second round. He landed sub 40 strikes. His opponent landed sub 70 strikes. So, I mean, like, not crazy differential there, but still enough. Now, I think the craziest thing in this entire fight is when Gregorio was throwing, he was throwing heat. Right? He was trying to take dude's head off, which is why of 36 landed strikes, 26 of them were considered significant. His opponent, however, was just not throwing heat. I'm going to play this sound effect one more time. Because, look, 67 strikes landed and only 2 of them were considered significant. but still he got the win. 1 takedown needed. He shot almost 10 of them. 9 shots, 1 successful attempt. And I mean, it's better than 0 of 0 for Charles Lampos, who just looked like he was trying to go out there and strike with the guy. I don't know why. Minute and 55 seconds in. That's all she wrote for Toshiami Kazama. The silent finisher. Yeah, silent finisher. I mean, he only landed 2 significant strikes and still got the fucking finish. Silent finisher for sure. He got a very nice triangle choke. And I digress. As Mary said here, everything on paper was telling me to go for his opponent. Yeah. It's tough.
It's usually how it goes, you know, whether it's going with your heart or you're going with the statistics. I think, man, either way, probably wrong. All jokes aside, I mean, what do you want to lose on, right? What do you want to blame?
Ray Longo made me do it.
There you go. I'm happy to blame Ray. Like, if Ray Longo said to do it and I, follow him into a dark alley and bad things happen, that's on me, okay? Not on Ray. Although, easily put the finger at Ray. But that's okay. That happens, all right? We may lead you down a bad path as well, but you know what? We'll get you the next time, okay? We'll get you the next time. I'll bring the beers.
I'll bring the beers. Oh, man. God, who was that? Was that Ben Affleck?
It's Mr. Deeds, baby.
Yes, Mr. Deeds.
With good cheers. See you at the, whatever, in heaven. At Heaven's Gates. I'll bring the beers. Speaking of that, Adam Sandler was on Joe Rogan, so I got solid 3 hours ahead of me. Oh, yeah, baby.
Very nice. Yeah. Nice. That'll be a fun one. That'll definitely be a fun one. Oh, man. Yeah, we're going to do a couple shots here in the next couple fights.
Gots to. Another performance of the night, though, here with our boy Toshiomi.
We got to finish up this one. Tie a bow on it, Nano. Performance of the night.
I know. We already did the shot. I'll be short and sweet here because that's exactly how Toshiyami was here with this performance. Really dominant first round, but boy, did Charles Lampos come out guns a-blazing. Like you said, throwing absolute haymakers. Made it really, really interesting, but it just simply wasn't enough, right? I mean, you saw the skill difference when it came to the ground. I didn't even realize that choke was in there. I thought Charles Lampos was continuing to build some momentum. I thought he was going to start to pound and ground, posture up, but no. Someone unplugged the controller, and he went night-night. And not night-night, he actually tapped out, but just thought it was so gosh darn quick. Like, wow, he certainly Kazama put him in the blender there and didn't know where he was doing. But that guy is really talented when it comes to his grappling game, and, man, sky's the limit for this bantamweight. Don't have a name in mind, but would love to see him competing for a top 15 as soon as possible. Japan might have a legit contender here soon. This guy looks legit. Gets hit a little bit. Granted, Charles Lampos was throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him. But I do feel that if he can continue to get better as a defender with his defense there, I think this kid's a legit talent. But we'll keep it moving, baby.
Not quite yet.
Oh, gosh.
Not quite yet.
I just seen one of the best comments. TP, let's go.
Toshian. Oh, I got to make a name for myself right here. Look, man, I actually do have a name.
Happened here today.
Just make sure people remember what happened here today.
Today.
And when you leave, get yourself a drink. Look, man, I actually do have a name on the tip of my tongue. I think, and maybe walk me off the ledge if I'm being crazy here, but after that kind of performance for Toshiami Kazama, I'd like to see him step up in competition and fight somebody like a Vinicius Loke-Dog Oliveira.
Okay.
I think that's a fun-ass fight. Let's see what Pat Modi said. Kazama, only 2 significant strikes, 1 of 9 takedowns. He got knocked down, but still got the round 2 sub. Guy is legit because Gregorio is good. Gregorio is good. He's really good. But, I mean, on that given Saturday, Toshiami was somehow better. Again, I'd like to see what happens when you put him against a Vinicius Oliveira, a Loke-Dog, somebody who is very vicious. Bit of a junkyard dog out there, folks. and somebody that when you do get him on the mat, he's down with that too. So yeah, I mean, 8-5 seems like a weird record for someone like Gregorio. I agree, Pat Modi. I completely agree. I feel like the skill that he has versus the record that he has to show for it don't match up, right? It's like when you see the buffest guy in the world and he starts talking like this, like the two things, they just don't add up. The logic isn't logicking. But I just think maybe stylistic matchups have not been on his side. And me and Jive Turkey Nano here, we talk about this all the time on this show. The Icarus effect. I feel like he has gotten hit by the Icarus effect maybe a little bit early in his career, even before the UFC. And I think that's probably why he has an 8-5 record to show for it. With that being said, we're going to move into the next fight. We have Yana Santos coming in against Chelsea Chandler. I'm going to pour up the shot. I'm going to let Nano take the lead on the breakdown, and I will never bet on Chelsea Chandler again so long as I breathe.
Ah, man, my brother, I don't blame you. You know, I'll happily accompany you on this shot. One, because we never let our fellow mates drink alone, whether it's water or alcohol or whatever you're drinking there. And two, because I would have bet on the girl from the 209. Okay, that is my home stomping grounds. I got the Nate Diaz poster behind me. You know what it is, 209 repping, Stockton in the house. But unfortunately, it was not a good night. It was not the best performance by our girl, Chelsea Chandler, which maybe she has a better career going that way. Thank you. But no, man, you know, I think she ran into a brick house, right? Yana Santos has she's a talented fighter. The record is not indicative of that. All right, Pat Modi, please be nice to her. Okay, 15-8, not the best. I admit. I know what you're gonna say. Happy you still commented though. But you know what, brother? It's one of those things. Pat Modi, you know, the first fight Yana Santos had, it was against Chris Cyborg. Okay, we're talking Cyborg, the Cyborg. Okay, after that, she went on to fight Aspen Ladd, lost unfortunately. Irene Aldana, Holly Holmes, Carol Rosa, who we just talked about. You know, Yana Santos, don't let that record completely paint the picture here. She's just gone up against some of the best, okay? And it was displayed this last weekend, right? We all thought Chelsea Chandler certainly had a fighting chance, certainly had a striker's chance, but after a while, it certainly did not feel the case. I think Yana Santos was able to display that she was quicker, faster, stronger, better striking pedigree, and just had a full 15 minutes to display her skills and kind of show the world, hey, you know, I'm better than what you may have seen in the past. So for that, in and of itself, excited, and we'll happily do this shot. But for our girl Chelsea Chandler, man, tough one. Not sure what's next for her or our girl Yana Santos. Again, she's already fought the who's. I don't know who else you want to fight other than just trying to continue to climb up the rankings or get to a spot where you're, you know, in that conversation. Love to see you back in as soon as possible, though. It's my 2 cents on that one before we do this shot, baby. I don't know if you're ready. Both for the breakdown and the shot.
We'll lead with the shot. We'll finish with the breakdown. Cheers
Salud.
to better decisions and to the 209.
And thank you all for being here. Let's go.
And thank you all for being here. If you do shots, do shots. If you don't, do shot of water.
Definitely stay hydrated with any beverage of choice. Liquid IVs, Mios,
Liquid IVs are fantastic, I will tell you.
Poppy, if you're going to drink soda, or just straight sparkling water. Good alternatives, baby. Health as well.
Poppy. Shout out Poppy.
Poppy.
Sponsor us, Poppy.
Please.
That'd be a fun ad read. Brought to you by Poppy.
We will do some fun ads. We will get into the ads. Don't get it twisted,
do some very fun ads.
We can add some comedy, some music, whatever you'll need. If you're listening.
I mean, I'll even do the creative work, folks. Like, I mean, just in case you're new here, guys, I don't know if you know, but we released a book not too long ago. Here's what that looked like. So, I mean, as you can see, definitely not a real book, but I mean, if it was, like, you probably would buy it, right?
The
Like, that was a
endorsements
great
were
ad
real,
read.
though. Yeah,
Come
those endorsements were
on. I mean,
Ricky Bobby definitely said that.
I'm Ricky Bobby, and if you don't like this book, then you. Okay.
That's right.
That's just how it works.
That's just the way.
So, look, I'm going to jump right in here, jump into this breakdown. You mentioned a couple things. One of the things that you mentioned is that Yana Santos fought Chris Cyborg for her first fight. Man, I mean, look, that was Yana Kunitskaya, brother. That was before she married a famous UFC fighter whose last name is Santos. Of course, bad jokes aside, she went out there and actually fought like a Yana Kunitskaya. Okay. Who would be the top dog, though? Maybe Yana Santos. Let's go, Pat Modi. Love that. Love that. We just sold another book right now, I think. So look, Yana Santos went out there. She did exactly what she needed to do to win. And it's not one of those situations where I'm going to come out here and toe the line and say, you know, Yana Santos did exactly what she needed to do and nothing more, nothing less. No, she did a little bit extra, folks. She landed a damn near 2-1 differential here. 135 strikes landed to 73. It wasn't because she went out there and threw double the fucking volume. It was just because she was more accurate. She threw 186 strikes. Her opponent threw 152. She simply landed at a 72% clip while her opponent landed less than 50%. And when it came to significant strikes, 69.6% clip. We're talking 94 of 135 significant strikes landed to the 56 of 124 that her opponent threw. So we're talking about a game of accuracy here, folks. Not a single takedown was seen in the entirety of this fight. Okay. Like, if you're looking for takedowns in this fight, you just as well see tumbleweeds because they were just not happening. But I digress. Yana Santos looked better than she's looked in my opinion, in the last like 3 years. I made jokes last week about her making excuses in her last fight, about how she was still lactating and like a number of other things. And like, I'm simply just not a big fan of the excuses after the fight. If you sign the dotted line, if you take the fight and then you do not pull out of the fight, you are accepting the responsibility of winning or losing that fight. And the fact of the matter is, if you win, you're not going to tell anybody about your torn ligament or your lactation or your whatever the case may be. But if you lose, we're going to get a fucking laundry list of things that were wrong with you for the last 6 weeks. Actually, you know what? Sorry, let me just hit the fucking record scratch there. Sometimes when you win, you actually do tell people that you've been injured for a long time. A la the main event, which we're going to get into very, very soon, folks. But I just wanted to admit that I was wrong there. It's just far more often that you hear it when somebody loses. I think my guy Jive Turkey Nano can back me up on this one a little bit. But I just think when you win, you're a lot less likely to come up with excuses than when you lose. When you win, you're like, you know, everything felt real good. Car handled real nice. I'm not sure what to do with my hands right now.
Put your hands in, Ricky. Put your hands in. Yeah, no, that is facts, brother. You are spitting facts right now, my guy, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, my brother.
Brother, you weren't wrong, man. You're just half right. That's what T-Piz said there. Miss you, my guy. We need to have you out here. We need to have you drinking heavily, and we need to do a live podcast together. That's just simply a fact. Look, the real question now is, Nano, do you have a name on the tip of your tongue for Yana Santos? I know you said it doesn't make sense for her to just keep fighting to fight. She has to fight somebody in the bantamweight division. I'll take the lead here, and then I'll pass it to you and see if you do have a name or if you disagree with my name. Now, I'm going to throw out two names that I've already mentioned tonight. Karol Hossa, who just won a fight on the very same card. Karol Hossa or Norma Dumont. Both of them are sitting 2 ahead of her in the rankings. So, I mean, I feel like the trajectory lines up. Both of these women are trying to stay active as far as her and the other that just won in Cara Rosa. Nano, what do you think? Are you opposed?
I like it, brother. I like it. I mean, the only problem with a Norma Dumont is that she's fighting Irene Aldana September 14th. Anything can happen to that point. So, not that it's completely out of the realm of possibilities. But, man, I think if you're Yana Santos sitting at 10 right now, up 2 spots, you'd love her to try to go up to those single digits. And really anybody that's willing to sign the dotted line, right? Maybe you try to avenge that loss against Holly Holm.
Holly Holm.
Holly. I don't know if you sign that check, if I'm honest. If you're Holly, what motivates you to do that, right? Go down the ranking and beat someone you already beat. Unless it's maybe a big money fight or something like that. But I think if you're Holly, you're looking above. And same with Yana. So, again, I think to your point, maybe you're Carol Rosa because they both just fought similar rankings. That probably makes the most sense. And then from there, you kind of figure out who's ready and who can, out of those two, can maybe crack the top 5 from there. Ugh. I got stuck on the crack there. Too much crack. Anywho.
Never a good thing.
Off the record.
Never a good thing. We just got canceled.
Too much crack jokes. Just cracking up over here, man. We're just cracking up. We're just cracking them.
Oh, boy. Gonna be cracking at the seams when fantasy football season starts, too. When we start adding that in.
Ooh, come on, baby. It's almost time.
I would play the whole thing, but I mean, if you play it for more than about 8 seconds, they hit you with that DCMA very quickly. CBS is like, you just do, bro. That's ours. But I digress. We're not going to do that. I mean, if we could get the DraftKings sponsorship, brother, all day. We're gonna start off with underdogs.
Underdogs.
Try and get those folks to sponsor us. Hi.
Need some MMA representation. Come on, listen.
They really do. They really do. Listen up. We'll tell you about the fights. We'll tell you about the best of times. I'll say we'll tell you about the worst of times. Winning bets, losing bets. Either way, you know we're gonna be placing bets. I say. You were on mute, I think.
Oh damn! I said I do declare.
I do declare. Are those flowers for me, Mr. Beauregard?
And do you like pool parties, miss?
We just trying to make a name for ourselves.
Out here trying to get a motherfucking scholarship.
Trying to get that scholarship. Moving to the next fight, we had Chris Gutierrez coming in against Lee Kung. Maybe it's Lee Kwang. I think it's Lee Kwang. Either way, I literally said that I thought this fight was probably going to be a grindy, windy situation. And that Chris Gutierrez would probably just grind his way to a nice decision win. He did just that. He outsmarted, outpaced. And honestly, even though he didn't shoot a takedown, outgrappled his opponent, for lack of better words, right? Like his opponent shot 11 takedowns. His ability to negate the takedowns. Hey, something special. His opponent shot 11 times, only was able to land 2 of those times. And I mean, just realistically with what he was able to do when he was actually landing those, I'm not sure if anything actually impressed you, but I mean, realistically for me, not so much. He got a total of 4 minutes control time off those 2 takedowns. But if you're shooting 11 times, I mean, you got to have like 13 minutes out of that 15-minute fight, brother.
That's facts, my brother. That's facts. Yeah, I think it's one of those things. It felt like a vintage El Guapo Chris Gutierrez performance. So to your point, right, I think the common theme here is any shocks, anything that stood out. Not necessarily. I think it was kind of what I figured. I was hoping Chris would, El Guapo, was going to find a path to victory and avoid the grappling game in Quang Lee. And like you mentioned, brother, going, 2 for 11 the entire night. Sometimes a good offense is a better defense. Am I right? So I think that's exactly what our boy Guapo leaned into in terms of this training camp and just kind of game plan overall. And then when he lets him fly, man, when you give him space and he's the first to the mark, or the first to, I guess, to use Cobra Kai, when he's striking first, he's hard to beat, right? I mean, his offense is really, really good. And again, that helps complement his defensive background as well. So I think it was just really, really good performance, the way he put it all together here. Man, sky's the limit for my boy El Guapo. I say that as I sigh, as I let out a big breath, because he ain't getting any younger. I don't know what's necessarily next for him at this stage. Probably, I think he's deserving of a top 15 shot. Maybe would have liked to see a little bit more of a definitive win here to really stamp that ticket. But for now, anybody in that top 20, or again, I think we like looking at it as, okay, if he's obviously in the top 25, can he be paired up to be a top 15 eliminator matchup? I think that's the goal. I think that's what's next for him. Don't have a name. I don't know if you have anyone top of mind, but anybody that's also in that same position, sign the dotted line. Let's get El Guapo back in there ASAP. I'll be rooting for him, most likely. What do you think, brother?
I mean, look, I was maybe a bit harsh on the guy here. I think T-Piz in the chat said it best. Man went from LFA straight to Gutierrez. I think he deserves another shot in the UFC. I definitely agree. I think Lei Huang definitely deserves another shot in the UFC. Chris Gutierrez is somebody that's fresh out of the top 15, Nano. He's somebody that has tasted top 10 even. So this guy's a beast. El Guapo, I mean, he's a guy. He's definitely a guy. The names that I have on the tip of my tongue are a Saeed Nurmagomedov or a Jonathan the Dragon Martinez. Jonathan Martinez coming off a loss to Junior, aka Jose Aldo. Look, I think the King of Rio put it on Jonathan Martinez in a way that he wasn't expecting. You put Jonathan Martinez against somebody like a Chris El Guapo Gutierrez, and I think we have ourselves a very fun matchup. But I mean, it's tough. I don't know. I don't know stylistically how that plays out. But I do like the fight. I think that that's probably the most realistic name to hand him to. What do you think, Nono? Any thoughts on that?
I like that. I do like that matchup for him. I guess stylistically, I think it's a good matchup. Don't necessarily love it for our boy Guapo. But yeah, man, I think you're right. I think, and like Tian said, if we would have seen a little bit more of him going out on his shield or really getting that definitive win versus this closer encounter, this back and forth fight with somebody who, again, is coming from the LFA, think it would have been an easier conversation here. But if you're Dana White and Brass, yeah, I think you're looking at that top 15. And it's tough, right? I mean, so many talented fighters. Honestly, I think if you want to be bold, maybe a Mario Batista or even a Dom Cruz. I don't know, man. I mean, not great for Guapo, but that's a great litmus test. We're going to know if he's really that guy or not.
I like Dominic Cruz a lot better than Bautista. Bautista will hurt him. He'll do bad things to him. I truly think.
Real quick, yeah, that's the thing.
I truly think Bautista's a scary individual, man. The way that he strikes, the way that he lands leg kicks, like the way that I would describe Bautista's fighting style is like he fights you as if you stole his little sister's bicycle. Like that's genuinely how he fights folks, and it's scary to watch. And then right after, he's like, "Hey," just like smiling, happy-go-lucky. He doesn't look like the guy that literally just fucking murdered another man and got paid 2 paychecks for it. But that's what happened. So I don't want to see that fight. But you signed me up for the Dom Cruz one. I'm not mad at that. I'm more mad at that for Dom Cruz just because like the legend status of Dom Cruz kind of degrades a little bit on that one, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a legacy builder, but I guess if you're, and if you're Dom, you're like, why am I going to fight an unranked guy? Why am I going to give him this nod? Unless he feels like it's an absolute challenge, but it would be a good one. Bro fights like he's trying to do it for the kids. Boy got that Nacho Libre strength. Oh, the anaconda squeeze. Come on, baby. Oh, I got Nacho Libre. We got references all day. We might need some Nacho Libre sound bites, honestly.
I was gonna say that might need to be the next step.
Encarnacion.
All right. After the show, we're doing a nightcap. We're adding some Nacho Libre stuff. Nacho.
Let's go.
Nacho. So yeah, moving into the next one. We had Danny, left-handed god Barlow, coming in against Nikolai Varetnikov, which I feel like it's easier to say the name when you say it in the bad Russian accent, if I'm being completely honest. Look, Danny Barlow, he landed less strikes. He landed less significant strikes. Both guys went 0 for 2 on takedowns. Nano, what were your thoughts on this fight? Watching it through, did you think that they made the right decision, or...
It was a split decision. I think I was equally on that fence as well, brother. Everything you were saying there as you were leaning in before you tossed me the rock, I was going to say, and just nod my head like, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's like, Danny had less punches, less significant punches. Neither of them scored takedowns. It's really back and forth. Maybe, if anything, Danny felt a little sloppier. I think that left hand was, his left hand from God certainly showed up. And I think I was just really waiting to see if Danny Barlow was going to take that next step in his UFC career. But when you're going up against a tough Kyrgyzstani individual like Nikolai, it's tough, right? It's levels to this game. And you can knock out all the dudes in your local circuit. You can knock out maybe most people. But if you don't land that one perfect punch, what else do you have to fall on? And it just felt like, Danny was lucky, I think, again, like we talked about earlier. Sometimes your best offense is a good defense. I think he's showcased good defensive skills, but he's really got to step it up. If he could have timed maybe some takedowns or integrate some more leg kicks, I mean, anything in terms of mixed martial arts that he could have added would have been really helpful here. But I think, unfortunately, we kind of just saw the holes in both of their games. And that I say that hesitantly because I love these fighters. I don't want to sit here and say they suck or anything like that. It's like, they're legit fighters, but I guess in terms of breaking down the skills and what we saw, it was a stalemate. Needless to say, I think Danny Barlow can look at this and hopefully learn if he was going to break down the tape, and sky's the limit for these guys for sure. But Danny got the win, and I guess I'll have to go with it, right? But like I said, I was Humpty Dumpty sitting on the middle of that fence, and I'll lean it anywhere the wind takes me. I'm sellable, as we like to say around here. We're in sales. You could give me a good pitch. I probably would go either way. But I think DB did enough to get it done, I suppose. Good defense will win you the game, I guess, if it comes down to that. And I don't know if I have a name for him next. I'm not going to reward him with the top 15 guy. So I need to see a little more. But I do know, maybe if you're him, maybe you take, instead of 6 months, maybe you take that 8 to 10 months and you really drill in on some wrestling, on some Muay Thai, something to help with just another asset to your game. Add to that skill set. Add some more tools to that toolbox. That'd be my last thoughts on DB here in this fight. Uh-oh. Did you double mute? No.
The gosh darn double mute. It's been a minute. I'll tell you that. It's been a minute.
Classic.
It happened. Classic. John Anik, I think, said probably 2-3 months ago on his podcast, he was asking somebody, he's like, at what point do you become such a professional on a podcast that you don't do the double mute? And the person he was talking to responded and said, never. So that's what we have to look forward to, folks. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. So, yeah, it happens. It happens to the best of us. Happens to the worst of us, as Foghorn Leghorn would say. Danny Barlow, I think I got to agree with the chat here. T-Piz says, Barlow fought a bit scared. I think we needed more, just like last fight. Bro needs to go back to the gulag, get that right hand like the left. I completely agree. I think the left hand is too much of a crutch for left-handed God. I think he just aims too much to use that and really just hopes that somebody's going to allow him to land that on them. If you call yourself left-handed God and you have a bunch of left-hand knockouts, I am never going to move to my right when I'm fighting you. It's just not going to happen. Constantly going to move to my left, which means I'm moving towards your right hand, which means I'm moving away from your power hand. It's an easy game plan. It's fucking super easy. I can't think of an easier game plan than just thinking to move one way. Throw in the fact that the guy doesn't mix in any wrestling at all. I mean, he threw in 2 takedowns, but they were all for naught. So, and then mix in the fact that across 15 minutes, he landed less than 60 strikes. The guy landed 52 strikes in 15 minutes. So to put that into perspective, let's see here. He landed 52 across 15 minutes. He landed about 3.4 strikes per minute. Just not a ton of volume there, right? If you look at significant strikes, it's even less, but I digress. If you told me that Nikolai won this fight, I wouldn't be mad at you. I wouldn't call it a robbery. I also don't think it's a robbery that Danny Barlow won. I simply think it was a very close fight, and I don't envy any of the judges on that night. Because of that reason, I am not going to play judge or matchmaker here. I'm not going to pick the next fight for this young man. I don't think he's ready for the top 15. Yeah. I mean, not the best performance he's ever had. Like, take me back.
Facts.
Moving to the next one, we had Damon Jackson, the Leech, coming in against Chepe Mariscal.
Ain't got a nice girl. Ain't got a nice girl.
Nice.
I added that just for you.
Nice. Dude, it's a great one. I mean, Jack Black has got great range, brother.
Jack Black is definitely the man. You know who else is the man? Chepe Mariscal. My only thing is I just really wish he would have made weight. He didn't make weight. He hit the back of the head numerous times. And then on top of that, at the post-fight presser, not sure if you watched it. It's probably just like a crazy Olin thing. He started off real strong. It's like that football meme where like, I'm not going to lie, they had us in the first half. It's what it felt like. I'm not going to lie, he had me in the first half. And then he came out. And, I mean, it was the opposite of... It didn't make you feel good. Didn't make you smile. So the first half, he was like, he kept complaining that I was hitting him in the back of the head, blah, blah, blah. If I'm swinging and you're turning your head, like that's not on me that I hit you in the back of the head. And that's fair. That's fair. And then after that, at some point, he basically was like, and I mean like, hey, he did dirty things. And so when I want to fight dirty back, you want to cry about it? Bro, you literally, that means you're saying you're hitting him in the back of the head on purpose. You can't say those two things. It doesn't void each other out, dog.
A little contradicting there, yeah. Definitely showing your cards, unfortunately. And it doesn't help when you also miss weight. It doesn't help when...
That's what I'm saying. And then he went on a rant. And then, like, at one point they asked him at the post-fight presser, they're like, you had the weight miss, blah, blah. Do you think maybe the Vegas situation is a problem? Because he had said when they brought up the weight miss originally, he's like, well, it was just a miss on our behalf. We didn't calculate things right. We didn't account for the Vegas heat, this, that, and the other, which doesn't make sense for me because the Vegas heat would make you sweat more, which would make you make weight. So then they ask him later, they're like, so with what you said earlier, do you think that maybe they should take into account the Vegas heat for, fights and nutrition and things like that? Or do you think they should have a special nutritionist? And he's like, No, because I think when you do all the right things, you feel good, and I felt good on fight night. Like, bro, you missed fucking weight. You can't say that.
Yeah, I would too if I was, 3.5
I
pounds
would,
overweight.
I would too if I was 3 pounds overweight, dog. Like,
If I just came in at a natural weight, yeah. Which,
so I feel like it just almost does away with everything of good that he did in the fight, in my complete opinion.
yeah. Maybe you can spin it where it's just like, okay, maybe it's making a case for us to just get rid of weight classes or get rid of the is it dehydration or whatever the case is, where they cut the extra weight. It's like, okay, well, let's open up more divisions and you can fight at a true 160, 165, 130, 135, and maybe you can have more double champs, triple champs, whatever. But yeah, I mean, and I'm trying to defend him here because, again, it's unprofessional at the end of the day, right? I'm trying to make a case for us to get more belts, but ultimately it's unprofessional. I think that's the only asterisk, and why, as much as I love Chepe, it's hard to give him a huge platform or sit here and hype him up or say, hey, he deserves a top 15 guy, maybe on paper. But then I look like a Dan Ige, one of those guys. I'm like, gosh, I don't know. I think they'd piece him up, and I think I would want to see it. It's kind of turning into the heel, unfortunately, my guy Chepe here. And I know it's John Anik's homie, as as a wise viral TikTok once said, hey, get your boy, Xander, get your boy right now. Get your fucking boy, bro. Get your boy.
Get your boy, Xander.
Dog, Xander,
Zan, get your boy.
Zan, get your boy, bro.
Zan, why's he looking at me like that? Zan, get your boy. You're about to fight right now, Zan.
He's known him for like 6 months. I've known him for since 6th grade. That's hilarious. But yeah, brother, I mean, all to say,
he's just a stupid little baby, dude.
Please fucking look at me like that. What, the baby? Yeah. Hey, yo, get your boy. Love it. But no, hey, Damon Jackson earned his nickname. He's about that action. I give him props for still accepting the fight. He had some moments, but ultimately, Chepe just really put a whooping on him. He was throwing punches at bunches, laying in the knees, ripping the body. Honestly, I was sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, when I'm ripping the body on the punching bag, I feel like that's how I want it to look or feel or sound. I'm like, he just full torque, just enough distance and everything. I'm like, man, that was just some straight rip shots. Damon Jackson's gonna be sore tomorrow. No coughing, no tickling him, no sneezing. Pooping might be hard for him even. I mean, he's gonna be a little tender. So all to say, yeah, I don't want to reward Chepe. I think he frustrated me. It's like, yo, brother, go up if you're just not gonna make weight. Otherwise, he's a tweener. He's a great, talented fighter. And as Dana is willing to let go of a Muhammad Mokaev, where maybe it's just like, hey, if you're not gonna be a professional, go tear it up in LFA. Go make a name for yourself in PFL. Do whatever you want, but maybe it ain't here. I don't know if that's threatening or if I'm trying to say you're blackmail Chepe, but ultimately, I think he's a great fighter. Just want to see him do the right things, and I'll be back on board.
Yeah, man. I mean, I hope I really, really hope that he starts making weight. And I mean, if we're talking about record scratch moments of all time here, can we just talk about the fact that Chelsea Chandler has never made weight for UFC bantamweight, and yet she's ranked in the top 15? Make it make sense, Dana. Make it make sense, Hunter. Because that shit don't make any sense. Look, as T-Piz said here, we've all been rooting for D-Jack, but man, Chepe is that dude right now. He is tearing it up. He is definitely tearing it up. But I mean, next time he goes to the buffet, you got to tell this guy when it's fight week.
Come on, don't be crazy.
Okay, don't let him jump in there and get an all-you-can-eat going. All right?
Don't be crazy. Let's go.
You're like, I was trying to find a way to work that one in there. Oh,
Come on, don't be crazy.
he's got to wake up. He's got to get his stuff in line. He's got to maybe hire a nutritionist. Look, I'm not one to talk, okay, because I don't have abs, but I'm also not trying to fight for a fucking UFC title anytime soon, right? Or possibly ever. Realistically ever. Chepe probably is. Probably is. I think he's one of those guys that probably really does want to at some point fight for a title and fucking call himself El Matador. But until he makes weight, I say again.
Come on, don't be crazy.
All right, you gotta make weight before you can do it, bro. You don't even get a 1 pound cutoff. let's be completely real here, folks.
Our friends, listen to me. Listen to me.
Our friends, listen to me. Yeah, I mean, it was a good performance. It was good enough. I mean, make no mistake, 49 to 218 strikes landed, 32 to 73 significant strikes landed. Damon Jackson, I feel like I've rooted for him time and time again, and the gas tank just doesn't get any better. And he does this innate thing where he's like a reverse Chito Vera. Like Chito Vera goes in the first round, he's like, I'm gonna start slow, I'm gonna download, I'm gonna conserve my gas tank. Damon's like, it's a 3-round fight, but I only need the first one. Fuck it. I'm emptying the fucking barrels. I'm burning the village down. Let's go. He just runs in there and just it's wild, right? It's very entertaining. But then he's just holding on to his opponent for dear life for the next 2 rounds. He's shelling up. He's eating shots to the back of the head at some points in time. But either way, I mean, it's not the best thing to watch, right? There's the second and third rounds. Now, when it comes to Chepe Mariscal, I don't think you reward him and give him a top 15 ranked opponent after that. He didn't make weight. He hasn't proven that he can consistently make weight. You give him somebody outside of the top 15. Did you have any names on the tip of your tongues, Nano?
Great question, my brother. Again, man, I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm putting him on timeout. Nobody honestly stood out to me. Again, when I looked at it, looking at even like a Dan Ige at 14, I thought, man, you could give him Chepe. He'll answer the bill. They both will sign up and take the fight, but I think Dan Ige puts a whooping on our boy Chepe. So that's where I don't think I want to see it. Again, make weight. You know, either go beat somebody in 155 and then try to get a ranked opponent there, or stay here at 145, but run it back, beat somebody else that's good, maybe in a similar spot, kind of in a do-or-die situation, but nobody else that comes to mind. Because, again, when I look at 14, 15, I don't think he's ready for that yet. Or honestly, I think Chepe is good, but I just can't reward him after missing weight like that. So I'm going to have to just I'm going to have to abstain. I was trying to think of some lawyer way to put it. I abstain, Yana, and I do declare that I'm going to owe.
I got a name for you. I got a name.
Lay it on me.
For you. I am going to lay it on you. I am definitely going to lay it on you. But in order to do that, I have to figure out the perfect way to deliver this. I'm just trying to think of like what would be the best way to convey the message of who I want him to face. That's right. Nate the fucking Train Landwehr. I think that is probably the move. Give that man the train. And if he misses weight, Nate the Train will beat it out of him in blood. So that's a fun fight for the fans. And either way, I just want to hear Nate the Train on the mic. So give us that fight. What do you think about that one, Nana?
I love it. Yeah, the build-up, any press conferences, and all of that will definitely be legendary. Get Nate the Train out there. The dogs bark in the backyard, baby. The dogs bark in the backyard, baby.
Dogs bark in the backyard, baby. Hey, Austin. Or hey, Dallas. Check out that bicep.
Let's go.
That man is a fucking beast. What a legend. My gosh. I got to tell you, like one of the funnest experiences watching a live fight was watching him fight David Onama and drop him like 3 times and not even try to follow up and finish him and just turn and look at the crowd and be like, "Are you not entertained?" Dude was literally like quoting Gladiator in the middle of a fucking UFC fight. Like,
is this your ruler? Is this your king?
Brother, I was so fired up. I was so fired up. Like, I had Dropkick Murphys playing in the back of my head. I was just like ready for a fight to break out.
With the Guinness poured and everything. Let's go, baby.
We're fucking ready. Seriously though, Nate the Train would be a hell of a matchup for him. Speaking of matchups, folks, without further ado, in this banger of a fight card that we are breaking down for you right now,
It's time!
that's right, it's time for the main event of the evening. Marcin Tybura versus Sergey, the polar bear, Spivak. What can I say? I'm going to go ahead and pour my final shot of the night here. Because I thought that Marcin Tybura was going to go out and do exactly what he had already done. If I had my guy Nano here, he probably would have been like, well, statistically speaking, the younger man wins like fucking blah, blah, blah out of blah, blah, blah times, to talk me off the ledge. But I digress. As T-Piz says here, sorry, Spivak, I wasn't familiar with your game. And I mean, with all due respect, and I am saying with all due respect, we need to put some respect on Spivak's name because the man has more finishes than most heavyweights that have ever competed in UFC. Dude is a finisher. Dude is a prolific finisher, and he can do it with knockouts or submissions. I think he's well on his way. I do have a name on the tip of my tongue. All I can say about his performance is that it was fucking masterful. He landed one less strike than his opponent and still managed to land 3 more significant strikes than his opponent threw. You figure that fucking math out. Because it doesn't logically make any sense, even to the statisticians. So look, guy got 1 takedown. That's all it took. That's literally all he needed. And that's all she wrote. He looked fantastic out there. He made it look easy. He made it look masterful. And he made it look like it was not a rematch. And if it was, he won the first time. Because the way he went out there and just masterfully got that armbar on his opponent, just sliced through the guard like butter, pulled the arm in. I mean, Nano, I know you were just as shocked as me. I don't know if you have your shot poured up, if you're ready to do that, the breakdown, both. Let me know, brother.
I'm ready for both, brother. Wow. What should we start with? Should we break it down, or are you ready? Oh, shit. I guess it's shot time, baby. Thank y'all for sticking around.
Bear.
Cheers to...
And to you folks.
Cheers to the polar bear. And to our audience. Let's go. Appreciate you. Oh, baby. Oof. But yeah, man, I would have hit you with that statistic because you got to go the younger guy here. Our boy Marcin Tybura at 38 years old just simply doesn't have it in him.
I'm shocked.
And
I'm fucking shocked.
Sergey Spivak in front of him there. The polar bear literally looks and is about the size of a polar bear. 29 years young. He's got skills, brother. What more do we need to say other than he came, he saw, he conquered, did what a polar bear would do in that situation, mauled his opponent. What's next? Honestly, I want my boy Tai Tuivasa to get a dub this upcoming weekend, and I want to see those two square off. I think that'd be a fun one. Tai may lose an arm, or he may knock him out. He may take down the bear. That'd be my matchup. Future thought there. Again, I guess tingent upon the fact that hopefully Tai gets the job done this Saturday. What do you think, brother?
Man, I mean, I'd like to see Tai get the job done this Saturday. I'm not going to reveal my thoughts on that until it's time in just 2 days. But with that being said, not the name I had in mind for Sergey Spivak. I had a different name in mind here. Look, when it comes to Sergey Spivak, I think he is on the expressway to the heavyweight title picture here. With a finish like that, he has been pole vaulted up 2 slots, is now sitting at number 7 rank. And here's the coolest thing. Crazy fucking cool, guys. You know me. Nano, you probably know me better than most people. T-Piz, you as well. And you know that I'm not a big fan of the talk, as much as ironic as that is, since we're doing a fucking show where you talk. But I digress. I'm more of a fan of fighters that fight versus fighters that talk, right? I'm talking about you, Conor McGregor. But even so, when he's in there, I watch because he's a great martial artist. That's why I pay attention to him. One of the things I actually really like and respect about Sergey Spivak is that he doesn't talk. He doesn't go out there and be uncharacteristic and do things that are very different and out of character for himself. So to that tune, what he went out there and did this weekend is he had one of the best performances that he's ever had in his entire life. Right? He gets a crazy submission win in less than 2 minutes, minute and 44 seconds. He gets that armbar. And then they ask him on the mic, Bisping, tries like 3 times. Like, do you have a name on the tip of your tongue? Who would you like to fight next? Spivak. And Spivak is like, I don't know, whoever's ranked, I guess. I hope it's someone ahead of me. Doesn't call anybody out. And then, of course, because he's a good dude, he went out there and put on a good performance. What happens? Well, the guy that I want to see him fight next anyway ends up calling him out online. Isn't that just fucking great? I know, it's crazy how things work out sometimes. And T-Piz trying to take the fucking thunder out of me right now. That's right. It's Jonathan Almeida. So he said, I think he should fight either Almeida or Volkov. That's beautiful wrestling. Look, I agree. I think Almeida is the choice, though. Almeida already called him out. Almeida is already going to sign the dotted line. He's ready for the fight. He wants the fight. And I think we can call a spade here. Sergey Spivak didn't take any damage in that fight. But I did tell you that some people come in here and win fights and then say that, they came in with injuries. That was Spivak. He actually said that he came in with an injury. He wasn't able to train for the last 3 to 4 weeks. And then when asked at the post-fight presser what that injury is, he said, why would I tell you? Then my opponents would hear this and try and target that. So the interviewer said, so you're not planning on getting it fixed before your next fight. Don't know what the injury is. Know that it was serious enough for him to take 3 to 4 weeks off training, and know that he's probably not going to get it fixed. What that tells me as someone who is not in that industry, but has watched this sport for a very long time, Nano, and does know sports industry or sports injuries, I would say it's probably going to be a shoulder injury, something that's very tough to come back to after you get surgery, or a spinal injury. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on what you think it might be.
Yeah, both are tough, man, honestly. And as someone that has had elbow, shoulder, AC joint issues or injuries, rotator cuff, I should say more specifically, and AC joint injuries, could be anything in that realm. And that AC joint can definitely keep you out. Even if it's not surgical, it can still really linger. Or you do the surgical route to hopefully get back at it quicker, right? You just go through the surgical rehab or what have you, versus like when I had my AC joint even just slightly torn, I had to not work out upper body for I think 3 to 5 months. Probably was trying to push it, obviously, as a young college kid would. But all to say, if it's something like that, again, that can make sense as someone that has a little bit of experience. And the back stuff, lower back, or anything on the spine, oof. I'm hoping it's not that, but these fighters, man, you never know, right? The torque, the pressure they're putting on their body, the positions they get themselves in, anything can happen. But I'm going to assume maybe it's something light. If they're going to go through something surgical, maybe it is like a tear or a rip or a fracture or something where speedy recovery and get back at it sooner than later.
$100%. I mean, it seems like he's not going to get the surgery or whatever he needs to get it fixed. And that's the most concerning thing. So if that's the case and he's ready to fight soon, fight fucking Almeida, man. I love that idea. What do you think, man? Should we, I feel like it's a short show. We have extra time. It's been a minute. Should we dabble? Should we start looking at the underdogs a little bit?
For this upcoming 305, you're saying?
Oh, yeah.
We can get a little idea, certainly. I don't know if we can.
They've already got the underdogs up, and they've at least got the straight money lines up. We could maybe hit some money lines before changes happen on the DraftKings even.
Oh,
because there's going to be line movement for this card, brother. In the next day and a half, there's going to be line movement. I promise you.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
worth looking. Gee-wee-wees.
Oh my gosh.
Woo! Love it. Let's go.
All right, all righty then. Okay, let's see here. Am I able to share a portion of my screen? So yeah, looking at the right now, it looks like they only have significant strikes out on underdogs. I'm down to do a significant strikes only bet. I think that's actually a fun line bet.
That could be the move.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. We're doing more bets on the other one. It's pay-per-view. We always go heavy on pay-per-view, and we're playing with sorry, I'm doing quick math. 5, 6, 7, 8. We still have like 8.5 units of house money to play with right now. So even with the losses. Gee wee wees! What up, Bike Arena? Welcome back to the chat. Look out for her possibly making her MMAnomaly Show debut in a future episode to break down some fights, either post or pre. Okay, so let's talk through these, my guy, my turkey, my Jive Turkey.
Are we in the DraftKings or the underdog?
Which do you prefer? I'd say we do one of each. Okay, hold up. This is money, possibly. Okay. 4. I'm going through. I'm literally just like combing stats right now, guys. If you see me just kind of glossing over.
I know, Sam. I have to log back into my DraftKings.
So if Kai Kara France is not one to get smoked.
No.
He's never been one to get smoked. So I'm gonna say Usyk over 64.5 significant strikes. In people that are durable, I'm sorry, I love you, Matt Schnell. I literally have an autographed Matt Schnell card right there on the fucking wall. My first auto card. Thanks. Shout out. This is Drew for getting me that. Appreciate it. Super fucking dope birthday gift.
The man.
Maybe it was Christmas. Either way, I know Drew got it for me, and I appreciate the fuck out of it. But looking at you, man, I mean, he got knocked out in like 32 strikes. There's been 2 times that guy's fought and that happened, and he was one of them. But when he fought people like Pantoja, 129 strikes, 111 significant strikes. When he fought fucking Alessandro Costa, 74 significant strikes. When he fought David Dvorak, he that was his first fight in the UFC with the bright lights under him, and he still got 54. So he's only gotten better since then. I'm gonna say he gets it done, 64 strikes. What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
Jairzinho Rosen's strike is sitting right now at 20.5 significant strikes, over under, even odds.
Say that again. How many?
20 and a half.
Oh, that's not bad.
You don't need a prediction, but can you guys give a quick preview of the main event? So for the main event of next week or this week, we have Dricus Du Plessis, aka DDP, coming in against Israel Adesanya. I'll be completely honest. It's going to be a battle of precision versus puppy dog energy, right? And the thing about precision is you can predict something that is predictable. The thing about puppy dog energy is it's unpredictable. I think DDP wins this fight for the same reason that I picked him to win the fight on the night of, and him walking out to fight Robert Whittaker. I think he's going to overwhelm his opponent with things that don't make sense. And Israel Adesanya is a master of beating you to your logical next move. But the problem is DDP is illogical with his movement.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that is a good breakdown. I think we're going to see a great, great fight, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be 25 minutes. You're going to want to be tuned in for 2 of the best to do it right now at that weight class. I'm a big fan of Izzy Adesanya, and I'm also a big fan of our boy, Dricus Du Plessis, since he's joined. Obviously, love his name, but man, the way he fights and goes out there, it's going to be a bloodbath. I'm leaning Izzy to give you the short. I just think it's, man, when you're great, and, you know, I need to break it down more, but I'm going to leave the Sean Strickland thing out of it because that is a blimp. But all things considered, I think Izzy is going to come in, have a great game plan. He is focused. He's angry. And I'm going to choose the greatness here. I'm going to choose the champ that I've seen it do it more often, back against the wall. Even when I was betting against him, it's hard for me to go against my boy Izzy here. So we'll have a good, long, healthy debate on it Thursday. But ladies and gentlemen, y'all better tune in. That I do know. It's going to be absolute fireworks from start to finish. You're going to see a chess match like Queen's Gambit out there. DP, hopefully see you Thursday, brother. Here's your thoughts as well. And anyone else listening here, if you're still tuned in at this point, you might as well make yourself known. Say hi. Let us know what you think. Anything excites you this upcoming fight? Is MMAnomaly correct? Is the Jive Turkey just chucking and driving over here? What do y'all think? Let us know, man. Excited to have you. Either way, even if you're just listening at home, maybe on autopilot, but either way, those are my 2 cents for this upcoming 305. It's going to be a banger, and the whole card stacked. Tune in, check it out, DVR it, put an alarm in your phone, put a calendar reminder, block yourself out, y'all. Get it on. And after that, you can watch Canelo fight as well. It's going to be a good Saturday night of violence. Let's go. Sheesh.
Let's go. Let's go. Been working the head movement between fucking weight sets and shit. Hey.
Can't let him get close. Can't let him get close now.
Can't let you get close. I can't let you get close.
Can't let you get close to me.
All right, so let's do this. What do you think? How many picks should we do? I say we do a flex. So we have to do at least 3 or more picks. I say we do, 6 picks? Make it ridiculous?
For the dogs?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for the underdogs, yeah.
Yeah, let me pull it up. I like it. Fook.
Alrighty.
Cheerio. MMA.
I can, or if you're trying to look up the odds on your phone, I can possibly just present it here.
Oh, nice. I got the dogs up.
You got dogs up? Cool.
I got the dogs.
So far we got Steve Ursig, and I got a shot poured up.
Ooh.
To declare, Mr. Beauregard. TP. T-Piss. Let's go, brother. Pour it up. Pour it up! What fight are you thinking right now? What fighter are you excited about?
I do think Jack Jenkins.
I was looking at Jack! You son of a bitch. I knew it.
I mean, dude, Herbert Burns. Come on, bro.
I think he's going to melt Herbert.
Yeah. Slam that over right away.
Yep.
And I'm talking over 33.5 significant strikes. Although, I guess, dude.
Does Herbert melt before 33? Cheers to that.
I'll cheers to that.
Cheers to no mercy.
I mean, it'll be like a 20-30 punch combination to finish it. Dude. And worst case, like, maybe we're being too pessimistic and he does go a round or two, then even more confirms our theory that 33 is light work.
All right, guys. Look, somebody get ready to clip this. Bike Arena. Here we go. Get ready. T-Piz, get ready. You're going to need to clip this. What is the time? We're at 1 minute and 28 seconds here. An hour and 28 minutes. Jeez Louise. Either way, get ready to clip this, folks. I'm either going to be extremely right or extremely wrong here. But either way, here's my prediction of that fight. Jack Jenkins is only going to land 35 strikes, maybe 40. But 7 or 8 of them are going to be leg kicks. And in round number 2, Herbert Burns is literally just going to quit in there due to leg kicks. The 7th or 8th one is just going to snap that shit. Not physically, but metaphysically. It is just going to snap the toughness of Herbert Burns. And the reason I'm saying 35 is because we just need him to land 33.5, and I'm really hoping. I'm putting it out into the universe, but here's the thing. I just simply think that he lands less than 40 strikes, but over 33.5. And I gets it done by leg kick stoppage. Nano. We're locking it in. Over. Jack Jenkins. 33.5.
Lego.
We're in. As Joe Rogan would say, it's in, it's deep. All right. Junior Tafa, stay the fuck away from that. We're staying away from that. He can land 6 or he can land 46. You just really don't fucking know. We actually do have some takedown props in here. I'm not mad at some of these. It's on me now, yeah?
I guess, what do we have so far? Did you get we got Jenkins for sure.
Got Jenkins. You said Jenkins over, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I think. Fuck. And they hit us with the 4, not even the fucking 3.5. That's a dick move. Straight up dick move. He's landed over 4 takedowns in 2 of his UFC fights. But in like half of the other ones, he's landed 4. Oh, dude, that's tough. He landed 11 takedowns against Rafael dos Anjos. And Hooker's susceptible to takedowns. But I think the safety net is in the significant strikes over. As long as he doesn't get a crazy quick knockout. Do you think he knocks him out as quick as he did Rafael Fiziev?
No, I don't think so.
No chance, right? He fought DP and lasted 15 minutes.
Yeah, he's got a chin.
We're going over 45.5 significant. That's my pick. I'm locked in. I've just decided we're not doing a fifth of a unit on this. We're doing a unit on this. Fuck it. We have units to burn, dude. We're playing with house money.
I'm surprised you didn't take the takedowns, but
I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not doing it. He got 11 takedowns. Look, let me explain that. I'm going to break that down for you right now, and for the viewers, okay? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you fucking asked, kid. Because here's the thing. Here's the deal. He landed 11 takedowns on Rafael dos Anjos. Other than that, he's only landed over 4 takedowns in 2 UFC fights. He's landed 1, he's landed 2, and he's landed 4 in the other fights. Mind you, in 4 or 5 fights, he's landed 4 takedowns, but they didn't even give us the 3.5. It's over 4, so he has to land 5. I don't want to take those odds, bro. The only person he's ever done that to is RDA. And Dan Hooker has never had to use takedown defense, but they also do the like crucible or whatever the fuck they call it, which is it's a glorified AKA wall drill. Like every gym just calls it something different, right? Like, or did they call it Shark Tank there? I don't know. If Ian was in the chat, I know he'd be able to tell me. Or Matt. Bike Arena might know too. But either way, like I know at City Kickboxing, I think they call it the Shark Tank. But like they switch out rounds and they have someone switch out on you against the wall. You're doing wrestling drills. Like Izzy does those. And he trains at the same gym as Dan. So Dan does those. Like, that tells me that Mateusz Gamrot, who, again, in my tape watch, in my tape study, Nano, we're going to go over this in 2 fucking days, but you can correct me if I'm wrong today. Mateusz Gamrot gets like 80 to 85% of his takedowns against the cage. That's tough when your opponent fucking is doing wall drills in, thanks Bike Arena, the Shark Tank. So, look, I mean, I'm just going to give myself the gold coins here because I think it's going to be a tough fucking night for Mateusz Gamrot to get easy takedowns. At best, he gets 5. At worst, he gets 3. Either way, I don't want us to be playing at the top of the fucking mountain. So, I think at worst, he gets 80 significant strikes. At best, he gets 150. And they're just fucking dangling the fruit above us with 45.5 over under. I'm taking the over on that all day. And it's your turn, brother. You're on mute.
Oh, geez. Can you hear me? Am I coming in? Oh, geez. My bad. I was saying I appreciate the extra context there, brother. It's certainly a good pick. I'm going to lean Luana Santos on this, and I think I'm going to take the over. I think she's going to be
On
Casey
strikes or
O'Neill.
takedowns?
Excuse me, strikes. I was
Okay.
looking at the takedowns at first, but I don't. She doesn't. She averages 2 per fight. It's right at that 2.5, 3. Don't love that. I think she might.
They're
end
not
up
giving us the
facing
0.5s on the fucking takedowns. It's kind of a dick move
Brutal.
on underdogs.
Brutal,
Like, what are you guys
brutal.
doing this week, bro?
They're not giving us nothing, man. They're making us earn every point. So I'll take the strikes. Somewhere I feel a little more comfortable. She averages about 5 significant strikes per minute. This goes full distance. That'll give me 75. Casey's tough. She loses, but she's tough. I think Luana will win, but I think she will be able to get some shots off. So that's my pick, baby. Going Luana Santos. Someone I feel comfortable with, and looking at the underdogs, that's a good pick right there, baby.
You said you're going the under? Or the over?
Higher. Yep.
Oof.
Take me higher.
Okay.
It's hard to go lower, brother. Unless I'm definitive on it, I'm like, man, I'm going to send a root for more bunches and bunches.
But it is significant strikes.
Ooh.
She's never landed that many significant strikes in her UFC career.
Yeah, she's usually putting people out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's in her last fight, she landed 2. In her fight before that, she landed 53, and then her fight before that, she landed 24. Or sorry, 63. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not. You don't have to change your turn or your pick.
And honestly, I mean, if there's only so many options.
It's tough, and like Casey O'Neill is up and down, bro. Like, I am a big Casey O'Neill fan. She's the bad guy. But
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it, brother. Screw it. I got it.
over. Okay,
I'm going over, baby.
I like
Go
it.
big or go
I like
home.
it. All right, over. All right, we're over. Okay, we got 2 more picks. Let's see. I said I'm staying away from Junior Tafa, so I'm literally just wiping that away from my memory. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. We could also. Oh, they don't have the over/under against each other things set up yet. We're gonna have so much fun on Thursday going through these. Oh my god!
Let's go.
Dude.
Can't wait.
They're gonna have so many more options. Ooh. Okay. I think I may have just found my next one. here. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah. Song Kenan versus Ricky Glenn. Let's look at Ricky Glenn. 8:30 in a 2-minute fight. 8-9 in a minute 35-second fight. He's going up in weight class, so you gotta think he's gonna be able to take more shots.
You would think.
But let's look at Song Kenan. 88. Okay, 62 significant strikes. 75 significant strikes. Fuck, he landed 55 on Ian Gary, who's actually elusive. Yeah, we're going over 40.5 for Song Kenan. That's money. That's money, kid.
Money in the bank.
Shorty, what you think? Yeah. And that bumps us right on back to Nano and Skywalker over here.
Wow. Okay.
The final pick.
Sheesh.
So we got Carlos Prates. We got Junior Tafa. Joshua Kulibau. Israel Adesanya. Which... No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to tempt you either way.
Are we thinking Airsig? Are we putting Wonder Astro Boy on here?
We already have Ursig. I put Ursig as my first pick.
Oh shit! You said that. Okay, my bad.
Over 64.5.
Yep.
I was like, wait.
So we have him, Kulabau, and Adesanya, and then
So right now we have Steve Ercik, we have Song Kenan, and we have Luana Santos, Mateo Scamro, and Jack Jenkins.
that's 5. Oh shit. Okay. Jeez. Okay. Here we go.
So the only people that we have left that are available right now are Jairzinho Rosenstruck,
Ugh.
over under 20.5 significant strikes,
Yikes.
which that's tough. Tom Nolan, over 23.5. What the fuck? Hold on. What don't I know about this fight? Are these guys both like crazy finishers? Oh, Alex Reyes beat Chuck Buffalo in like 14 punches. Okay, I remember this guy. Oh, his nickname's the Executioner. That tracks.
Fair enough.
Right, you are, Cotton. And Tom Nolan got his last win with sub 40 significant strikes, 33 significant strikes. Okay. All right. Maybe we avoid the Tom Nolan line, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, same with freaking Tafa, the guy he's fighting, Viltar Walker.
That's what I'm saying. Walter Walker and Justin Tafa, like I literally have said like 4 times already, like we're not doing that.
Yeah,
If we can avoid that, that's a move. That is a move.
Unless you have a good pick, I mean, I think I'm okay with the 5. 5's a good number as well. But
What?
I was saying, like,
Sorry.
if we
Just sticking
can't
with
find
5.
another one, yeah.
I mean, I have another one.
Oh yeah, see, I'm all ears now.
I was thinking Israel Adesanya over 88.5.
Yeah, if we don't have that on, I think that's the move. That's definitely the
Because
move.
I mean, let's just
5
look.
rounds. That's gonna be
5. That's what I'm saying. Like it's 5 rounds. You got puppy dog energy on a fight that he lost. He landed 94 significant strikes against Sean Strickland.
3 to 4 round, 3 to 4 minute, excuse me.
And you're talking about a guy that's not been finished in Dricus du Plessis. Again, Sean Strickland in a fight that he lost landed 173 significant strikes against him.
Yeah, Drake is just gonna be walking forward. He's gonna be able to, I think, weather a lot of the storms, especially early on.
Yeah,
I think that's a good bet.
I think Israel Adesanya over 88.5 might be the move. The difference that makes in payout is fucking wild. It goes from 10 units to 25 units. Off of one.
Nice.
And mind you, if we get 4 out of 6 right, we still make like a fourth of our money back. If we get 5 right, we still 2.5x our money.
I like it.
But if we get 6 right, we 25x our money.
That's perfect.
We're in.
I
Confirmed.
like our odds.
We are in.
We are getting Doug back.
We are back. We are back. We are getting Doug back.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, I fucking love it, dude. I fucking love it. Yeah, we're locked in. Are there any straight odds that you actually liked? I was looking at the DraftKings odds in between when you were doing your picks. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Nice, man. I wasn't as multifaceted and tasked as you, but no, I mean, I have no idea. I'd have to look, to be honest. But we do have Thursday, so maybe we'll leave a little bit to dangle a little bit of a carrot over their head, unless you have someone you want to throw out. But I don't. I'm not prepared.
No, I mean, I have. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have already put together 2 small little parlays on DraftKings. I will sprinkle those in real quick before we call it a night. So the first one is Dricus du Plessis plus 102. Steve Ursig, minus 166. And Mateus Gamrot, minus 325. I'm calling it the anti-city kickboxing parlay. Again, you know I love a good themed parlay. That ends up getting you at plus 323 odds. Okay, and 1 unit gets you a little over 4. Not terrible. Definitely not terrible. And then the big one is apparently striking boys. Apparently, people are thinking that city kickboxing is going to get effed for the most part. So if you bet all city kickboxing people, the main 3 at least, so Kai Kara-France, Israel Adesanya, and Dan Hooker, you get plus 1,472 odds for a 3-leg parlay. Are you fucking kidding me? So of course, right? We're going to put a half unit on it to win 7.8. So a half unit to win almost 8 units. Yeah, why not? And we're betting on the opposite because I'll be completely honest, I believe in those types of curses where like once one guy from a gym loses, it's like a downhill trend. I call it quicksand, brother. And I believe that could happen. City kickboxing is like notorious for it. So
when it rains, it pours, brother. I wouldn't be
rains,
surprised.
it pours. My mom always said bad things come in 3s.
Well, Mama's usually right. You're wrong, Colonel Sanders.
My mama said. My mama said. Oh man, I'm so happy.
Let's go, baby.
What's funny is my mama actually did say that, so that was a real reference. But I'm so happy that you got where I was going with the reference. With that being said, folks, whether you're new here, you're old here, you're somewhere in between, make sure you do us a huge favor. Like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications. And please, again, not only the live comments are great. We love you guys being a part of the show, guys and gals. But make sure you leave a comment after the show wraps. It really helps with the algorithm. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. That way you know when we're live. And the last thing, the most important thing, truly, make sure you do us a favor. Keep on going and keep on growing. And we'll see you on Thursday, folks.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.